And welcome to the second session of High Vibe Channeling for this April 12th, 2026. And it is going to be the Future Pleiadians coming in to talk a little bit about our dream self. And I know a bit of what they're going to talk about. Oh my gosh. And there's a bunch of entities who are coming in right now. And I don't know what is going to happen, but this is rather weird on my end. And I'm just going to bring them in and we'll see how it flows, and how it flows is how it goes. And thank you all for coming and watching.
Mm, Tim Palmer.
And we do thank you all, dear humans, for coming and focusing your attention in our pseudo direction, we will say. And while the channeler does have an idea of what is coming forth, it is more appropriate to say that he has no idea what is coming forth. He has not even received a movie trailer about the message which we are here to unveil or to bring forth to you. But we will start with the part which he does know, the dream self. And the dream self is our topic of this day because it is vitally important to you in your future and in your growth in the now moments that you currently experience. For if you think about your dream self, you all understand that is really you. That is where you are released from the constraints of your physical form, of your physical laws, of any contrivance which is matter or matters to those who are matter. That is where you have numerous relationships with other beings who are not part of your physicalized experience or are part of any physicalized experience in many ways, and where you are in touch with all portions of yourself to a significant degree. There will always be parts of you which you hide from you on certain levels. It's not that you really hide them, but it is more of a focus part because you are so diverse that as you increase in your dimensional realms or your conscious knowledge of them, we will say, which is not nearly appropriate, but it conveys some meaning to you, that you do become acquainted with many, many more parts of you. And that you includes the many, many parts of all other beings. When you think of you, it is an ego representation which you use to conceptualize that term, when in fact it is much more loosely organized and flowing than what you could ever imagine. Now, your dreaming self will become part of your waking reality in your coming decades. And we are giving you the heads up so you can get a head start. Unconsciously asking your dream self to become part of your waking days. you can ask and you can set up affirmations. I will experience more of my dream self during my waking moments. I am interested in having those experiences come to me while I am conscious. And it may take some daydreaming when your brain is pretty much in the neutral capacity as far as your driving exploits go. Or it can come during meditation, and that is more likely at first. But you can bring some of that information which is relevant to you into your waking life. Think about that. Think about being able to have some of those contacts, those connections, that wisdom, which you show up here for time and time again, available to you because you are orienting your thoughts from your dream self. It is merely a difference in focus. Because right now you are focused in your physical form with your physical attributes and senses. But you know of the dream self, you know a reasonable amount about it, even though you cannot conceptualize it or sense it in ways that does not bring any doubts to you that it is what it is, even if it is rather a slippery slope to nail down, we will say. But by bringing that into your current life, you open yourself up to many vast fields of information and knowledge. And you allow those portions to come into you for unique experiences as well. So you will be helping many entities and some energies by utilizing your physical form to encompass some of your non-physical or otherwise physical forms. And yes, that does sound exciting to you. You are all explorers. And you are all looking to expand, and you know you are always more. You have all understood that lesson. And you are very curious creatures about that exploration in ways which benefit you. And the things which you do not or are not vastly interested in, which do not excite you, do not for a reason, because that is not the particular method or focus that you have come here to learn. Now, you are free will beings. You can do so if you would like, but you have all been guided and know that you are reasonably close, if not on your soul path. And of course, being humans, you do diverge and you get ushered back or choose to return to that energy of flow, of synchronicity, of depth of field, of where the happiness reigns supreme throughout all of your minutes. That is a goal of many of you and a worthy one. And we are here to help you unveil more of that. And you can bring more of that vast knowledge into your life by incorporating the dream self within it. And you will do that. As we stated, it will be in 20 years or so, you will be in touch with your dream self, with the spirit realm. You will have connections with those who vibrate at the resonant frequency, which is acceptable to you because your vibrational frequency will resonate with those fields of information. But you already have a head start. You already know about all of that. And it's time, if you choose, to take practical steps to bring that in. Now, that is a growing process and it is a slow growing seed because you will be reorienting so much of your life by doing so. Because in ways you will not be able to maintain your physicalized consciousness or the appearance of being involved in your physical reality, because you will be communicating at times with other beings. And people may just assume that you were daydreaming or you were spaced out. And you will have the choice then to say, oh no, I was talking with my other being who is alive on another planet, and we were discussing something that is of similar interest to both of us. Or you can just say, oh, I'm sorry, what'd you say? But that choice again is up to you. Now, there are other ways of bringing that information into you. And one of them is involves the dream state suggestions. It is one thing to say, I wish to dream about the hybrid children, and I wish to remember upon my waking moments. And sometimes you might, and sometimes you may not. Sometimes that may be another you which has those experiences, which they are able to capture and bring to their awareness once their eyes flutter open. But becoming friends with your dream self, who you are part of, and building a relationship and incorporating your identity with your dream self. Now, that does involve shedding some of your physical identity, of knowing that you are non physical, and bringing that into your awareness as often as you can, and separating that reality from your body. As the wonderful Chris had stated, you are not your body, but you are focused within it for this particular experience. And this is another experience that you can have through your physical body by ignoring it in ways. Now, it's probably not too safe to do that while you're driving or handling sharp implements, but you will pick your spots. You are all intelligent creatures and loving as well, as we have noticed. And that is our little soliloquy for this particular session. And we open ourselves up to you to see where you would like to take this information or to explore other avenues of thoughts which have been entered into your minds.
Greetings to you.
And to you,
Thank you very much for this co-creation. It brings great joy. Well, the whole topic, because I really look forward to more conscious awareness of all my contacts. Um, but you said we would be helping other beings by shifting our focus as well. So how exactly would we be helping them?
it is in several ways, because there are beings who you are associated with and who you are in other guises, in other realms, in other realities, who have no experience being physical. They cannot even comprehend the limitations which you have imposed upon yourself in order to explore this particular reality. The depth of forgetting is incredible, and many beings do not even know that it is possible. But you are adventurous. You are pioneers. You are searching out and exploring this. And they can get an idea of what this physical life entails. They can tap into some of your memories in ways. They can get an idea of the nature, of the depth of your forgetting. And that can spur creative elements within them that they may wish to explore. So it is opening up a window for many beings and energies to come through to you, to experience you in a different format, one where you have physical laws that matter, where you have gravity, which is a unique invention. And if you have never been physical, you do not know not only about things, but how dropping them makes them connect with other things. And that would be a great source of enjoyment, or could be a great source of enjoyment. It also, in the spirit realm, when you come across things which are highly enjoyable for you, which really tug on your heartstrings, or enable your consciousness to just be so excited that you wish to share, and share you do. So that will also have a secondary effect because other beings can pick up on those experiences and they can try their own about it, or they can get that information from other parts of you as well. And they may just choose to have a physical life. And you could be their test subjects in ways.
Thank you very much. I think we tend to forget how special this incarnation is because for us, we just do it because we're here, but we don't appreciate how valuable the sharing of it might be. So to the point of practicality, apart from our intent, what else would you recommend to come closer to succeeding in it?
Well, repetition is important for a number of reasons in your reality. One, because it does determine the nature of your intent in ways, the strength, the energetic resonance behind it, to propel that into action, which can be fulfilled by your beliefs. Because if you do it a couple of times and you say, oh, I don't feel anything, it's not working, then your beliefs are going to work against you fulfilling that. But if you keep that belief that you are incorporating more and more of your dream self into your waking reality, you will find that you are having experiences which you would be hard put to explain to others who are experiencing or entrenched within physical reality. Now, as we had mentioned, you will be not paying as much attention to your physical reality during those moments. So you need to make sure that you are safe in your physical form when you do so. And those beings who will be interested in exploring that with you will know that. There is no fear there. But if you think about when you are doing things, even such simple things as cooking or walking or riding an escalator, you need to have your physical wits about you. And that will not be the case to the extent you are familiar with when you integrate a portion of the dream state into your waking reality as physical. Does that satisfy you?
Very much. Thank you. Thank you.
You have a question. Thank you so much for this co-creation.
And
And so it's similar to Christiana in that I would like to incorporate my dream self, but I do have difficulty remembering my dreams. Even as I try to write them down, I only remember bits and pieces. Is there a more helpful technique or something that I can do to remember my dreams?
rejoice in what you do remember. Be
Okay.
pleased with that. Do not be disappointed that you can only remember this or that or tidbits of it. For
Okay.
you are getting all that you need, but you have set yourself up as a physical life because you don't need all of that. It is far too much. You can experience a full day in a matter of a couple of your minutes of sleep.
Hmm.
So there's no way to incorporate all of that into your awakened being. But
Okay.
by celebrating all that you do remember and being excited about it, you stimulate that. You draw that interest in, and that will aid you in remembering more and possibly even not only more, but in more detail as well. The more emotions. None of you have an issue with the things which really affect you in the dream states because you'll wake up and you say, wow, or oh my gosh, I hope that doesn't happen to me in real life. Because those are stimulating things in your physical life which you have brought forth, which you never experienced in physicality, or perhaps you are exploring to experience in physicality. But by being excited about what you do remember,
Mhm.
you will attract more of those memories. They are not really memories, experiences, we will say. And that is a very good question, and that is helpful for all involved.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And thank
Um,
you for bringing that forth. It is a valuable tool to help integrate more of the dream self and understand that your dream self can encompass 1,000 beings or more and all of their relationships. Do not expect all of it to fit in your noggins into your awakened days, but getting
right.
more of it will establish a relevancy and a connection which will enlighten you and provide you with more, not abilities, but more information in which to help craft your reality.
And it was very helpful that you gave an affirmation about I will experience more of my dream self while in my wakeful state. Um, I resonate with affirmations. They are helpful.
And that would be a good subject for you all to explore together, for you have already expressed an interest in that, and you do have opportunities for those discussions.
Yes, yes, thank you. Christiana, do you have another question?
Yes, thank you. So can we utilize also the dream state to connect with other parallel selves?
If it is relevant, But this is more an exercise for tapping into your non-physical selves, your other lives and other experiences outside of your physical, ego-bound identity. And if you are just tapping into another one of you who has pretty much the same background or the same realm in which to experience, that will enable you to grow somewhat, but it will not be the larger steps which you have available for you, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Some people, they just like dipping their toes into the pool, and that is enough of the swimming experience for them. And some will say, you have not lived unless you've done a somersault off of the high dive. And that is the difference in an analogous way to your explorations in the dream state. Some will just wish to get their little toes wet, and some wish to dive deep and do it magically in their own personal flair of expression.
And in that exchange with non-physical beings, I assume we will also get impressions of their experience?
To a limited extent, because you still do not have the vibratory wherewithal to handle all of that, and you are still egocentrically driven, and that will set up barriers, so some of that information will not be able to come through. But as you orient yourself to your dream self, those barriers disappear. And what you are technically doing, you are taking all of that information and you are making sure that the dream self can give you all of the experiences that will benefit you in your physicalized portion of it, in your life that you live moment by moment. We hope that distinction makes sense for you.
It makes a lot of sense, and it really is a wonderful, wonderful topic to explore.
Life is but a dream.
Hmm.
Shabu.
Even though sometimes we think of our higher self and we say, what the... But yeah.
But you still are creating that dream, every bit of it,
Mhm.
every second. You are magically creative. You are magicians of time in a literal sense. And
I
loving
have
expressions. Yes,
I have another question. Um, and again, thank you so much for talking with us. Um,
it is our joy.
so how how is our dream self different than what we would term our higher self or other channeling other beings? Could you please explain a little more fully about what you mean by dream self?
You are but one self. You segregate it by using labels and definitions and your names to appease your physicalized expression.
Mhm.
Outside of it, those things never come to the surface. They really, in essence, do not exist outside of your physical reality. They are not necessary. And not only they are not necessary, in many ways they do not exist. That is something that you leave. For instance, if you go to a particular Chinese restaurant or sushi restaurant and you use chopsticks and you only use them there, you do not bring them with you everywhere you go. And that is the same. You use what you need in that particular purpose. And that is the segregation you have chosen by saying higher self, dream self, physical self. And we use those terms for your convenience because that is how you have organized your thoughts at this point in your evolution,
Mhm.
individualized and as a race. But when you get to the dream self, it's all self. It is higher self. It is other selves. It is just one conglomeration of energy which has not been delineated into microcosms of exploration. So while that is something that is of interest to you here, once you get beyond it, it will no longer be a thought.
Right. I understand. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. That is
You are
very helpful.
wise. And we will ask you, as part of your writing career, have you thought about entertaining channeling into that?
Yeah,
For
oh, yes. Yes, absolutely.
and we
I
suggest you start journaling your thoughts about that, about
okay.
how it came to be, about where you got that information and how it made you feel, and
Hmm.
what you have done about it,
Hmm.
and the steps which have are the opportunities which have come about to help you support that, such as the one you are still a bit heartsick about, not seeing your grandchildren as much and
Right.
wanting to free your offspring from obligations of logistics and financial matters. But
Yes.
those all play a part into it. And you will find as you use your imagination
Hmm.
to create and recreate your experiences, that they will enliven. They will obtain more energy, and that energy will flow through to you and through you into your creations
Hmm.
because you already are the authentic person which you believe that you are. And that is true for all of you. And while there may be things which you have tucked away inside you, which may not be authentic as you could be, those are irrelevant. It is what you believe authentic is. It is
Hmm.
what authenticity means to you. And that is what you should strive to attain. Because in that striving, you will, as a second nature, so to speak, become a better person. Because nobody says, oh, I'm going to cause harm because that's my authentic self. That is not even a thought. That, and you can tell by the abhorrence that you have of that thought that that is not you being authentic to you.
Hmm.
So that is another arrow you can put into your quiver.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. This has been
Thank you.
most helpful.
And we look forward to exploring your creations more with you. And we will be
Thank
happy
you.
to come to your aid if you summon us.
I definitely will be. Thank you. Thank
And
you.
and understand that it may not be us who comes
Right.
to your aid, for there are beings who are willing to explore with you.
Hmm.
And you can ask for those in the dream states as well. But the important thing is to start,
Yes.
to
Yes.
capture those thoughts, those emotions, the process, because that will lead you on a trail which you will find will obtain a life of its own.
Mhm. Yes, that sounds very exciting to me. So thank you.
And thank you for being excited.
Any other questions from the group?
Yes.
They're dreaming.
Yeah. And it is also, as I already mentioned, very exciting. And you are all such darlings. And thank you so much for sharing all this with us. I was thinking, we were told in another channeling that we are all parts of councils. So is that also something to explore, our roles in those councils? Because I assume we are active in our dream state. So would that be an option to bring that in?
We would urge you not to put restrictions
Okay,
on that information which comes in, for you will find that it is better served to you unknown because your higher self, as you know it, will use those opportunities to help you enrich your life because all of you believe that that will benefit you. That belief will carry improvements, and you need not know what they are. You believe that it will, and you are willing to let those betterments unfold as they will. And putting constraints on them hampers that realization, that manifestation in your physical form.
correct. Thank you very much for making that clear.
And thank you because you made it clear for more than just yourself. And it is always a joy to come in and amongst you. And we are grateful for your attention and your energy and your future selves. And we look forward to further interactions with you whenever you call upon us. For indeed, it is not necessary for the channeling aspect to receive impulses or energy. You are connected to us already. We are a resource for you. And we are loving and willing to do
It's
what
good to
we
know.
can for you.
Thank
And,
you. Thank you
and,
very much.
and we thank you and we receive. That
Welcome
was
back.
interesting. I'm going to have to try that.
Yes.
Is that the future
Yes.
Pleiadians? What about all the others that uh, had made it known they wanted to come in?
I think that they were just in the background
Just
because it
watching.
was weird. Yeah, because there were so many energies which just filled my consciousness. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going to happen.
Little do you know, but there's like a whole auditorium of beings
Of some sort,
observing.
it was like, um, you expect you hear somebody talking in the next room, and then all of a sudden you hear, there's 30 people in there. I can hear them all. And you can't tell what they're saying, and you don't know any of their identities or anything like that. But it's just that sense that, oh my gosh, it's crowded in here. And it was weird.
Wow.
It was very strange. I mean, it was kind of like that when the galactic healer came in, are the beings that
Mhm.
did that. And
Right,
that's why I was like, I'm not sure who's coming in now because the waiting room
right.
is crowded. But they delivered their message.
Oh, very nice
And
about the dream self.
they're so forward looking because that is going to
Mhm.
be our reality in the future. And I'm now getting the impression that that will enable us to be teachers of those practices to others as they become aware of it and are interested. You know, we
Very
think that
cool.
we're doing all of this just to improve ourselves and because it's exciting, never realizing that, oh, well, we're keeping this, like they said, the quiver and the arrow, or
Right,
the arrow in the quiver, so we can bring this out at the right time to the right people.
right.
And we'll be, oh, that's why we learned that. That's why we were prompted to ask those questions. Now I remember. Okay.
Right,
And we
right.
do that with our lives all the time. We get bits and pieces of information. You're like, I don't know how I'm ever going to use this, or oh, that's nice. And then all of a sudden it'll become relevant. You'll say, well, yeah, I heard this. No, and then it just fits.
Right, right. Well, good thing I'm keeping notes.
And you can tap into the transcripts too, because I do
Yes,
those for all of
yes.
my channeling, or I try to. I know if I get three behind, whatever's not done is not getting done because I
There's
have just
more.
learned that it's like, you record all of the, because it's not like I'm doing binge transcripts.
Right,
So if I guess if you're watching a series or something like that and you're like, well, I've recorded four of them now, but life goes on and it's not
right,
changing. So you either gonna delete them or ignore them. But at
right,
some point you're not getting, like, I know I'm not gonna read all these books,
right,
but I enjoy having those options.
right, right.
I mean, if I live to be 300, maybe, but by then who's going to be reading books? I'm sure I'll be busy.
Just download.
And I never thought about orienting myself from the dream state.
Mhm. Yeah, that was interesting.
I didn't, I mean, I knew that's what they were going to talk about a little bit, but it went way beyond that, like they said.
Mhm.
But that was an idea that just never came to me. I knew it's part of our future. Many beings have talked about that. Like the hybrid children, they regenerate for a couple hours a day and not even our 24-hour day, whatever their days are. But they're awake during that whole time. They
Oh,
never lose
really?
consciousness. They're still learning
What?
and communicating with it's just a biological regeneration, a reset. It gives their biology a chance to remove waste products and to send energy or healing where it might be necessary. But yeah, but they're still conscious even in their sleep state. So they're living their dream reality all the time because they're in contact
Wow.
with the other portions of themselves to the extent that they need to perform their mission. And the
Right.
spirit realm.
Wow. Wow.
They're going to be teaching us certain methods of how we can connect with the spirit realm. We can talk to those relatives who are dear to us, who are gone, or as Christina was interested in, other lives and that sort of thing, if it's relevant for us. It's not going to be a free-for-all because we're still going
It's
to have some constraints while we're physical because that's why we're physical.
physical, right. It's interesting that you mentioned that because I had heard, and I'm trying to think of where I heard it, but there's a man that's trying to do a technology that will actually be able to, like, you could phone your deceased relative, so to speak. But it through technology as opposed through channeling or something like that.
And I'm skeptical, but that's me. That's my own personal biases
Right, right.
because you think about all of the technologies that we have now and before. And they never seem to match up with our reality. We hear recordings of ourselves, or we see videos and movies, and we're just like, yeah, that's cool, but we know it's fake.
Right, right. Or it's not as vibrant as actually
Yeah,
the lived experience. It's like a shadow record of,
exactly. And do you know why?
hmm,
Because it does not carry the vibrational frequency of the actual event and those individuals.
oh,
That's
okay,
like
that makes
if you
sense.
get an AI version, that doesn't have the vibrational frequency, so it affects us in ways that, for me, depending on your personal bias, but for me, it doesn't resonate with me. It's hollow. So when I see all of those pictures of dogs having communications with little kids or whatever,
Mhm,
or like the ones where they get to pick out their owners, and
mhm.
I'm like, that's not happening. Somebody's
Right,
dreaming that up. And
right,
they're creating, and it's a wonderful creation, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate the thought, and I appreciate that messaging of technology and how other people, it makes them happy, and they
right,
want to
right.
share it. And then I get that stuff, and I'm like, it's like, I already have pots and pans. I don't need you to bring me more pots and pans. It's not of interest to me,
Right,
that sort of thing.
right.
But for those who enjoy it, hey, it's up to them. Do what you like. I know people who like Serge. Serge spends hours every day exploring different techniques of AI with 5 different types of AI.
Oh, how?
He shares to like 12 groups or so. Some
Mhm,
of them he's created
mhm.
for his AI creations. And then, of course, Facebook says, oh, well, you're a bot. You're sharing
Oh,
too much. So he gets
hmm.
suspended every once in a while. And he complains about,
I'm
oh,
a
face.
real
Yeah, he's
person.
like, Facebook's being an ass today. But
Oh,
that's why he
it,
pushes the limits with his creations and sharing. Now
isn't it
that's my
funny?
thoughts. It could just be the algorithm doesn't like him. I don't know.
Right, right. Delete. But isn't it funny that we're to the point nowadays, right? We have to prove we are human.
Yeah, I wonder how long we're going to have to check those boxes with motorcycles on
Yeah,
them, our traffic
so
lights.
true. Or
Or,
crosswalks.
well, because I mean, soon they're going to be writing AI programs that can pick those pictures out,
Yeah, duh.
and
Uh, I'm
people have
sure
made a
they already
career
have.
out of inventing new technologies and selling them to law enforcement, and at the same time selling the solution so the law enforcement efforts will not be successful to the criminal enterprises so they can
Right.
evade detection. So they're literally playing both sides. That's what they do with the wars.
Yeah.
Sad to
Yeah.
say, they sell to both sides.
Right. Right.
But
Uh,
that's all changing too. And yeah, that's gonna,
happy to have that change.
yes, because we're gonna have a bit of a rocky summer,
Yes. Yes.
unfortunately.
Um, it, you're familiar with the heart coherence, heart math,
There's a lot of those.
right? But the Heart Math Institute is the one that
Mhm.
pioneered that. They've been around for I think 30 years or something. Um, but they do a global heart coherence. You don't sign up for it or anything. It's at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I put an alarm on my phone. And when it rings at 2 o'clock, you just take a couple of deep breaths. Um, they ask you to feel elevated emotions. So think about what you're grateful for, or the love of a pet or a grandchild or something, and then send that love out into the world. And they feel it's been having a global effect
Mm-hmm.
of and a lot
It
tens of
will.
thousands of people are doing it at the same time all around the world.
Yep. It's a great idea and a great method of raising the vibration and awareness of humanity. And that is
Yes,
also a step towards the unified consciousness.
yes, yes,
So
yes,
thanks for bringing that
it
up.
is.
What fun. Yeah, can't have much of these conversations with my neighbors.
Is that every day?
It is every day. At so whatever time zone you're in, Heidi, uh, e extrapolate it from 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, but um, I think now I have only followed them since COVID. I don't know if they did that before, but I know they did that during COVID, and it has continued.
Excellent. And that focus and determination about doing it at this specific time all around the globe
Yes.
helps. I know
And
Seth.
I feel it actually helps me too,
Mhm.
to just, have a reminder to connect.
Agreed.
Do any of you deal with once in a while, like that fear that comes up when we read or hear reports of, like, you better stock up, like something's happening, something's going to happen soon, or like when I watch um the solar weather updates, like the sun is just like there's just so much going on. And I want to listen to it because it interests me, but I find that when I am listening to it, sometimes I find myself later in the day feeling a little nervous, like, okay, I know it's I keep hearing the message, like, it's the time is now, like it's time for us to step up and lead people and shine our light bright, and whatever happens, stay strong, and they're going to come to you when they're ready for help. It's just kind of like, you know, it's a process to kind of like not let it get me in that fear mode. Like, I'm not a
Right.
conspiracy theorist into any of that kind of stuff, but it's like I want to be aware and know that everything is happening for a reason at this time, and we are all being called to um, come together and learn
Mhm.
and tap into our energy and teach others. But it's just kind of like that elephant in the room energy kind of every day, like, it could be any time. Like, who knows? Are we going to deal with a blackout for a significant amount of time? It's just like there's just so much that when I bring it up to people, it's like doom and gloom, but it's not. It's just kind of like
Right. Right. Take
absorbing this whole experience, you know?
Yeah. Take the fear out of it, Christine, because what is actually happening is good
Yeah, I know
and
it's
for our
good.
benefit,
It's just when that
and
little bit of,
something to look forward to.
yeah,
As Brian talks about, there's pendulums, and
yeah,
it you know anything that brings up fear, try to use the dissolve technique,
yeah,
and just um, know that everything is going to be okay and happening for our benefit.
right. I know that I'm gonna
And
be okay, and I'm not worried about myself in
yes,
particular. It's more of just like, what is it
the
that's gonna be
general,
happening around me that I'm gonna have to really just
yes,
be calm and guide
yes,
people through it.
yes, yes. And
Yeah.
you have all the knowledge
Yeah.
already, and just know that there's no need for fear.
Yeah.
Right?
There's
Do
also
you have?
Anybody? Oh, I was going to wait for everybody else first.
Mhm.
there's another approach. Get excited about it. Like, okay, what's the worst case scenario? So say there's no electricity. Excellent. I'll light some of my candles, and so create a best case scenario out of that and not worry about anybody else. Like, it's such a waste of energy. So
It
right
is.
now you don't have that situation. So
Mhm.
why would you waste time and energy to
Right,
create it in your mind? Why?
And to ruin the now moment.
right,
You want every now moment to be happy and good.
right. And I'm doing really well with staying in that. It's just that once in a while, like when I'm trying to learn about what is going on and the um I want to be aware of it all, and it's not really giving me the issue. It's just like what is going to happen around me that I'm
Right.
going to have to help guide others through.
Right.
Heidi, did you want to weigh in?
Huh?
You don't have to.
Um, the only thing I was thinking of is not long ago I realized that it's not until this time of internet that humanity has had any inkling of what's going on 100 miles away from them. And I don't, to me, this is my personal belief. I don't think we're designed to, to carry all of the burdens that are out there. And it's kind of like lift where you stand, help where you are. So anything that comes into my awareness in my life, in my immediate, people I know, things like that. Those are the things I concern myself with because that's the life path that I feel like I have. Um, I mean, you could argue with that and say, well, you also came at a time when there's access to everything that's going on in the world. I just think it's too much. For me, I don't think I'm wired to carry all the burdens. What I am wired to do is to send love and peace around earth so that it goes where it needs to go, and there will be people there that are there to help. So that's the way I try to live. um and and I find that feels good for me. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well
Yeah,
said,
because
Heidi.
none of the stuff that goes on in the world impacts me. I was told 4 years ago in a channeling session, recognize but do not participate. I'm not sacrificing any of my moments or any of my emotions about things which do not affect me personally. So I view everything as, does it make you feel good? And if it doesn't lift you up, then stop doing it.
Mhm.
Because it's one thing to want to be involved and to be aware, but only to the extent that it serves you.
Or that you can do something about.
Well, I mean,
You
I
can't,
think that's a separate aspect.
yeah.
But just like I don't watch the news anymore at all
Mhm.
because I follow social media, I follow alt national parks, I do Heather Cox Richardson, and that's it. Everything else comes through whatever everybody throws on the feed. And I know I'm getting everything that I need, but
Mm.
uh, uh, and people might think that that's callous, but I I I really don't concern myself with any of it because I know where I'm going. I'm focused on the future of unified life and doing what's best for me and building that awareness through my creations and, the things that I do to impact others by being the best me I can be.
Mhm.
And if you're allowing your negativity to seep in, then you're not going to be the best you can be. So you're not operating from your full strength. And I'm not saying, but if it excites you, then do it. But if it doesn't excite you, then find something else that does to take that place.
Mhm.
Personal recommendation. And like with
That's
Christina, I know there are animals out there who are abused and who are eaten, but I'm not concerning myself with that. It's not that I don't care. I'm happy to send them love when I experience those
mhm,
situations. That's my initial response. I'm
mhm,
sending love to all those individuals. Like when I see a
mhm,
car accident, I saw one
mhm,
yesterday, no police or anything. So I'm sending love and healing to all of the
mhm.
individuals involved. And that's my response
Yeah.
because that uplifts me,
Mhm,
not the horror that, oh my gosh, that lady's got to be really hurt. That's not
mhm,
my focus. My focus is sending in her love and healing.
mhm. I think that's wise, Ray.
I've learned a few
There,
things.
an experience I had. Sorry, I thought you were done, and then I
Go
thought you
ahead.
were done again. I had heard about some some indigenous people in the Amazon whose forest was being taken and taken and taken, by these companies that just want to make a profit, and they're cutting down the forests. And I don't have the I'm not even going to say it that way. The resources that I do have, I just felt so strongly that there was going to be someone who would who would come and see the damage that was being done, and like a CEO or something, they would come and see the damage that was being done and reverse their actions. And then a few months later, or 6 months later, or whatever, I heard of someone who, um, all I heard was it was a a person that purposely bought land next, like uh, like a, what's it called, like a timber company land, the land that it was on, purposely bought it, the company, to shut it down. And the way I look at it is maybe my prayer contributed, like
Mhm,
helped contribute to that energy. I'm not saying
mhm,
that what I wanted was a causal, caused that to happen. But that energy that I sent out somehow came back to me in the form of hearing that some land in the Amazon was saved
mhm.
because a man who had the resources was able to purchase a company just to shut down the the
Inspiration.
timber, yeah, the
Yeah.
cutting down of the forest. Um, are you fact checking that, Ray? Looks
No,
like you might be fact
A-
checking.
Actually, you're correct. I remember a similar story, Heidi. Um, this was a indigenous shaman who
Mm,
actually connected in dream time or energetically with a woman. I think she was the CEO or that came and saw what was happening and was able to save that whole area um, of rainforest. And she actually ended up meeting the shaman personally, but he actually deliberately called her in.
so that's
cool.
even a different story, but the same thing,
Hmm.
you
Mhm,
know.
mhm. Well, it's
So
probably happening all over in all
yeah,
the indigenous tribes.
and
They're
we
probably
can
reaching out energetically.
and we can contribute to that just by sending that intention as well. We can do our part, no matter how
Absolutely.
small, you
Absolutely,
know.
yes.
When
So
you think that, this is all a co-creation anyway, that that absolutely makes sense.
Yeah. So I just thought I would share that we don't have to feel helpless about things that we hear that are not hear of that are not right in our ability to to
Right.
make a change so that we can help.
Yep.
Yeah.
Focusing that energy makes a difference. I
Yeah.
mean, like
Yes.
I don't know how many different weather systems have been pushed offshore
Mhm.
because people got together and said, no, we're not going to have this hurricane come and
Mhm.
affect us,
Mhm.
and that
Mhm.
sort of thing.
I've heard of that on the Hawaiian island, uh, uh, Kumu. Um, Kumu Ramsey told that story that there's been many storms that have not. It's coming, and then it just goes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
or fires that just die out, or the
Yeah.
wind shifts, or whatever it might be, because it is a co-creation and we do create the weather.
And that's his story, not mine.
Yeah.
Like, but
But yeah, I mean, and then
I
there's
heard him
another
tell it.
similar story, like you said, where a billionaire just bought like 1.4 million acres in
Mhm.
Brazil, and to preserve it. And there's
Right.
lots of those around,
Mhm. Mhm.
and we'll be doing more.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
looking forward to that. Oh my gosh. It's
I've
wonderful.
also bought some land in Scotland, but it's about 2 square meters, but still. There's
Yes. It's something.
I own 2 square meters in Scotland, so
Oh, how cute.
And I do my little part in my yard by planting, lots of flowers and not using any chemicals and showing the neighbors that, hey, you can have a yard that's beautiful that you don't have to poison.
Right. Right.
But,
That is so true.
there's like 3 houses that do not have the manicured lawns, the suburban myth.
Mhm.
And oh well, whatever they want to do. Yeah, I actually have a neighbor. I've offered them to give them free flowers.
Oh.
And but they've refused me every year. I mean, they spent well over $300 on different plants so that were gone in 2 years. And so they keep having to reintroduce this stuff. And I'm like, you want your designer
Yes.
bushes, go right ahead.
Yeah.
But you could have stuff that's native for free.
Right.
But,
Right.
they poison their yard and that kind of stuff too. It's like,
Oh.
hmm,
Go
little.
learn.
Well, we can only hope, right? Like a neighbor cut down about 120-year-old oak tree. It was over 100
Oh.
foot tall, and it was healthy. It was too
Right.
close to his house, so he decided to cut it down and make it into firewood.
Oh.
I get heartbroken. I get heartbroken when I see him just trimming off limbs. I'm like,
Oh.
those are my brothers and sisters you're attacking. And then I have to focus on what's makes me feel good.
Right. Right.
So I send the trees love, and I know that the energy, nothing ever happens to the energy. It's the physical representation.
Right.
So, that does work. It works for me. I
Yes.
still don't feel
Yes.
good about it, but at least I understand it.
Yes.
So, and obviously that must affect me somewhat, but I turn it around to positive. I love those trees. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And thank you, ladies. Give me a place to play.
Well, I need to be going, Ray, but it's been wonderful. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Very
you.
nice to
Look
see
forward to the
everybody.
transcript. Do you want me to let you know when the transcript's in there, or do you just check every once in a while, Nita, or is that even of interest to you?
Um, I usually don't read the transcripts. I take pretty good notes for
Okay.
myself, what resonates with me.
Okay.
Um, it just sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, I just
with the
I just
trans.
posted in the messenger, and because sometimes you miss stuff during
Right,
the session, and then when you
right,
go back and you
right,
read it, I know for me when I'm typing them up and I'm authenticating them,
right. You're like, whoa, what was that?
well, no, it just adds another layer of energy into making sure I get what I need in the format that I need to really
Right.
put it in place if I choose to do so. So that's for me though. But yeah, I'm going
Well,
to do it
thank you.
anyway. All right. Thank you, Anita. Enjoy.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah, it's getting to be that time, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep. I
Yep.
missed the whole first half because for some reason in my mind I thought it was Thursday night tonight, so I was waiting for 8 o'clock. Oops.
Yep. Chris had a good session.
I'm sure it was a wonderful session.
Yeah. Well, it'll be posted again, right?